Welcome to episode 18 of Two Guys One Sport. My name is Chris.
Brother Chris, we are old enough to star in a porno.
Oh my God! I was not expecting that.
Yeah, sometimes I got to keep you on your toes. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, Brother George. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. We are going to talk about the Sublime G1 special in the U.S. Well, Sublime if you count, if you had it on mute. We'll get there. We're going to talk about WWE Engorged Testicles Aflame.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about TNA.
All right.
What are you going to talk about?
Well, you start with your match of the week because you said yours is short.
Mine is short.
Mine is long.
My match of the week is from TNA Slammiversary. Now, we're going to start the show with a little TNA or Impact, whatever the hell they call themselves, and we're going to end the show with a little Impact. We call that bookends in the literary business. You know, start the show, end the show, like in a movie where it starts with flashback and ends with how you got to the flashback. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, kind of structure a narrative here. I wanted to give a lot of praise to D'Angelo Williams because he and Moose teamed up and wrestled Eli Drake and the artist formerly known as Chris Masters. Now, if you don't know, D'Angelo Williams is a former All-Pro NFL running back. He's 34 and has a shitload of miles on his body, not from wrestling, but from playing professional football. I mean, obviously, you've seen football. Those guys get the crap kicked out of them.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't shock me if the guy walks with a limp. Well, you would know this guy's never wrestled before. And you would know that apparently he's had 3 days worth of training because he looked sensational. He was hitting spots. He was crisp. He wasn't lost. Now, I'm sure the match was rehearsed to all hell. I'm sure it was. But you know what? Who cares? I don't care how the steak. I don't care how the steak gets made. Just that it tastes good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
This match was good, and D'Angelo Williams was good, and he says he's retiring from professional wrestling, and that's too damn bad. Because, you know, when you have a legitimate athlete, an actual legitimate athlete, like Jack Briscoe, like Jun Akiyama, like Kurt Angle, like Matt Riddle, like Jumbo Tsuruta, like Chad Gable, like maybe D'Angelo Williams. I mean, real top-flight athletes who become professional wrestlers, they take to it like fish out of water. I mean, I gave you those names, and they're all pretty big names, right?
Yep.
And I don't see why D'Angelo Williams, who's got the look, who's got the charisma, who connects with crowds, and who's fluid as hell in the ring, can't make this his career if he wants to. He says he wants to try out for the NFL, and he was pretty solid last year. He's back in a Le'Veon Bell in Pittsburgh, so he's useful in a spot role. I mean, this isn't Two Guys One Sport football talk. I guess it can be, but he's still got some miles left in the NFL and the NFL tank. So if he wants to come back to wrestling in a year or two, it'll be here. I hope he does. This match was very good. Also, Eli Drake, you were pretty good being the heel, getting the shine on him too. I wanted to give you props too as well. So D'Angelo Williams, you're my guy this week because you were damn good. And I don't want to get too lost, but we talked last week how the Performance Center is a failure. Look at fucking Tino Sabatelli. Just as athletic, and it took him 2 years to just make television, and he's garbage.
Yep.
Right? Whoever the hell trained this guy in 3 days did better than the Performance Center was done in 3 years with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that's not. But we got a packed show this week. I don't want to get us sidetracked. My match of the week, D'Angelo Williams. Welcome to professional wrestling. I hope you stick around. You were damn good, brother.
All right. Mine, well, we all knew we were going to get to it eventually. My avatar, Mayu Iwatani, and Io Shirai for the World of Stardom title. I finally got caught up on it way back on June 27th. It happened on June 21st, and I finally caught up to it on June 27th, and I've been ruminating on it. I watched it before we went live again just to finalize my thoughts, and yeah, this is the best women's match that has happened in all of 2017, and it probably will remain as the best women's match in all of wrestling for 2017. You know, unless something coming out of the Mae Young Classic is an absolute barn burner, which I mean would not be unexpected because there's quite a talented field of competitors in the Mae Young Classic, but it will take quite the match to dethrone this as my pick for the best women's match of the year. This was a match for the World of Stardom title. This was Io Shirai's 15th defense of the title. She has held the title for a year and a half up to the point of this match, this was Mayu's third or fourth time challenging Io for the belt. I think it was her third time. Her third time challenging Io for the belt. You know, obviously Stardom going through a lot of changes, a lot of shakeup. Kairi Hojo just officially left and is reported to the Performance Center for WWE. Io Shirai also is on her way out, as all reports indicate, is on her way to WWE as well. So this was going to be just tying up some business. So the result of this match, which is that Mayu Iwatani won and became the first woman in the history of Stardom to unite the World of Stardom and Wonder of Stardom titles. Well, not unite, because they're still going to be separate titles, but be the first person to hold both of them simultaneously. Yeah, she was the first one in the promotion's history. That result was really not in doubt by any means. I mean, there were some who were expecting that, you know, Io would win and then Toni Storm would come back and you know, and challenge and win the belt, since there were also a lot of reports going around that Rossy Ogawa considered Toni Storm to be the new ace after Io left. But conventional wisdom said that Io was going to win, and she did. But getting there was a journey that everybody needs to watch, because this match has a lot of really excellent story to it. This being Mayu's third or fourth, again, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm gonna stick with third, because I feel like there's just something tells me that it was her third. This being her third time challenging for the belt, you could tell she had that fire in her that she was not going to be denied, and she was there to get that win. And Io being the veteran who has held the belt for so long, it is her pride and joy. It is her life's work. It is the symbol of her being the queen of wrestling in the world, and she is the best female wrestler in the world. I will hear no argument otherwise. You know, she's
top 5 overall.
Yeah,
regardless of gender.
Absolutely,
so there's no argument there in my. She's top 5, male or female.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the symbol of her dominance, and she will not let it go easily. Now, the one thing about this match to keep in mind that really resulted in some, I don't want to say scary, but anxiety-provoking moments in the middle of the match is that Io Shirai has apparently been dealing with a lot of neck issues lately, and it showed. There were some moments in the middle of the match and towards the end where they had to take longer than usual pauses, because you could tell that Io was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And I mean, Io Shirai follows the Hiromu Takahashi example of, if I'm going to take a bump, I might as well take it on my neck. So
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. That was a little bit. That was some scary spots, like Mayu hitting the dragon suplex out on the apron, and Io landing right on her neck and then rolling right off onto the floor. Pretty scary. Yeah, that was a little bit upsetting, but other than that, other than those few neck hits, this match had a lot of really great story to it. A lot of recreational activities on the outside. The first one being Mayu taking Io to the outside, channeling her inner Pentagon Dark and throwing Io through the first row of chairs, first 2 rows of chairs actually. And then she tries to hit the Dragon Suplex on the outside, but Io reverses and hits her bridging German on the outside instead. And obviously Mayu is stunned and takes a while to get back in. And they go back out again, and Io takes her up to the top concourse area at Korakuen Hall, where so many spots have occurred in Stardom where somebody jumps off of the ledge over the ramp that goes down towards the entrance to the building, and that did happen again here with Mayu hitting her flying crossbody off the top of the rail out onto Io. Lots of really great strikes exchanges in the ring. There was one strike exchange. Actually, it was a suplex exchange. Io hit her German. Mayu got right up out of it after 1 count. And Mayu hits the dragon suplex. Io kicks up out of it after 1 count. Forearms Mayu. Mayu forearms her back, and then they both just fall down dead in the middle of the ring, just collapsing down face first, clearly spent. 1 point, Io gets Mayu down on the mat, goes to the top turnbuckle, and hits Kairi Hojo's diving elbow drop on Mayu's back.
Nice.
And then goes into a single leg Boston Crab and forces her to make the rope break. Lots of crazy submissions before Io goes for the moonsault. The moonsault that has finished every single one of her other title defenses. And Mayu kicks out of the moonsaults. And more strikes, more moves. Maya hits the dragon suplex twice. Io kicks out of it. Then hits the lifting dragon suplex. And 1, 2, 3. Maya is your new World and Wonder of Stardom champion.
Nice.
Amazing match. Just
check it out.
It's a long match. It's about a 25-minute match. Definitely worth it for the storytelling alone. Just because like these two, it's the only betrayal of the results really came during the introductions to the match. You could really, if you look at Io's face, you can tell. Like if you've watched a lot of Io Shirai's matches, you can tell what her facial expressions kind of belie before and after matches. And this was a case where you could tell. She's like, yeah, this is a big one. I'm about to lose it. This, it's a lot of reflection and rumination going through her eyes as she's getting through her introduction and whatnot. And that was kind of a sad thing for me because I've been watching this run that she's had and been a huge fan of all the stuff that she's done. But at the same time, can't help but be excited for what's coming next for her. She's only 26 years old. She's got an amazing career in front of her, and now she's going to be on the biggest stage that she can possibly be on. Yeah, fantastic match. It's on Stardom World. It's probably available on some other outlets. Go find it, watch it, and I'm sure you will agree this is easily, far and away, the best women's match of 2017, without a doubt.
Awesome. All right. I'll check it out. I trust your judgment. You are Captain Joshi, so I trust your judgment.
All right. Onto the meat and potatoes.
Or New Japan, or goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. What are you feeling?
Let's start with Engorged Testicles Aflame. I like Engorged Testicles.
First of all, if you have Great Balls of Fire, you should see a doctor. Let's get that out of the way. And maybe get a cream or something for that, or some sort of salve. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you should go to a clinic. And
there's
things
you can do to relieve that.
Yeah, you should definitely go to a clinic. But this Great Balls of Fire looks like it's going to be a pretty damn good show, brother Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised actually. But
I am surprised, but first thing I noticed at the show, 8 matches.
Yeah.
A lot of matches. Now, yes, one is a pre-show match, but look at the big picture before we go match by match. Enzo versus Big Cass is not getting a lot of time.
Right.
Alexa versus Sasha Banks is not getting a lot of time. Because Alexa's pretty limited. Good Lord willing, Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt will not get a lot of time.
Oh, I hope.
And I would be shocked, and I'll tell you why when we get there. If Brock versus Joe was anything more than like 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe 12. Exactly. Maybe 12. But even that's starting to push it.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
I am excited for this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This show should be pretty good.
Yeah, this is going to be probably one of the first WWE shows in a while where the good outweighs the bad.
I would argue the first one since WrestleMania, if everything goes according to the way it should, because the pay-per-views since WrestleMania have been, at best, mediocre. At best.
Yeah, and worst,
some of them have been much worse. Backlash.
Yeah, some of them have been absolute dumpster fires. Backlash.
Thank the Lord I didn't go to that show and drop $100.
Oh my God, yes.
I would be so pissed at myself.
What a waste that would have been. All right.
Pre-show, Neville versus Akira Tozawa, who is part of Titus Worldwide, which is my, I've been calling for a long time for undercard guys to have stories and agency, And lo and behold, they give a bunch of undercard guys some stories and agency,
Yeah.
and look, they're all getting over.
Yeah, no, it's
funny how
fantastic.
that works out.
It is.
This shit isn't complicated.
Yeah, I mean, professional wrestling is not hard, as we've said. WWE makes it hard.
Exactly.
That's one of the many running themes that we have on our show. That just things that just need to be bashed into Vince McMahon's head. If
they do this with an added degree of difficulty for no reason.
Yeah.
Neville versus Tozawa.
Yeah.
Let's do a little gimmick here. Scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you for this match? I just thought of this on the fly. We're gonna do on the fly radio.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this like a 7.5 to an 8.
Yeah. I don't watch a lot of pre-show matches because usually I'm out running around Sundays or I get dinner. Or 3 hours. WWE, you get 3 hours of my time. You don't get 4 hours of my time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I am excited. I may have to jumpstart my Sunday early. I may have to get dinner earlier because this match looks. I'm like a 7 on this match.
Yeah.
I am excited for this match.
My only concern about it is because Tozawa's in what you would consider a lower card act among the main roster, and let's not kid ourselves here. I'm sure that Vince McMahon and creative are probably viewing this Titus Worldwide thing as a bit of a comedy thing, because that's what they are. That's how they've cast it since it became since it became a thing that was in Titus O'Neil's gimmick. Since he turned heel and started this whole thing, it was a comedy thing. It's the addition of Apollo Crews and now Akira Tozawa that's helped it to get over, and the crowd loves it now. But I still think that with their view of it being a comedy thing, they still think they're going to give the win to Neville because they don't want a comedy guy holding a championship, which is stupid as hell.
The Neville, there's no one. We talk about Asuka being a division killer.
Yeah.
And NXT, Neville is a division killer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
doing great work. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's doing great yeoman's work. But he is a who's left. He beats Tozawa, then what?
Here's the problem.
Today when Tommy comes up, fights him.
No.
Where are we?
Here's the problem that as I see it. They have run a lot of these things for way longer than they should have in the Cruiserweight division. The Neville and Austin Aries thing being the chief example of that. That ran for about 2 pay-per-views longer than it should have. But I mean, after Tozawa, there still are some pretty good challengers who I think could go for the title. Mustafa Ali being chief on that list, I really want to see that match.
Oh yeah,
for the belt.
I've seen him live at AEW. He's sensational. He's unbelievable.
And I really am desperate for them to get Cedric Alexander out of this fucking stupid storyline with Noam Dar and Alicia Fox, because Cedric Alexander is far better than that. When he had that 5-star match with Kota Ibushi in the Cruiserweight Classic, that should not have led him to this.
By the way, we say it all the time, but how smart are Zack Sabre and Kota Ibushi that they didn't sign with this company?
Yeah. Good choices by those 2 guys. I mean,
and we'll talk about Zachy 3 belts a little later on in the show.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, there still are some legitimate challengers, and I think that if they can wrap up Mustafa Ali's thing with Drew Gulak and wrap up, I mean, I'm hoping to God that this week signals them being completely wrapped up with the Cedric Alexander, Noam Dar, Alicia Fox storyline. And hopefully that brings him on to into the title scene, because he does deserve that spot for exhibition rather than being in what is, again, a comedy angle, because that's what this is with Alicia Fox. That's it's dumb. It's played out.
It's been going on for 3 months too long.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping that Cedric Alexander and or Mustafa Ali are the next ones challenging for the title. And I mean, even guys who have already been in the title scene, like Rich Swann, I would love to see him come back up, because I mean, he and Neville had some great matches. Yeah, I mean, but he's also been on a bit of a losing streak because he keeps going against Neville. That's been his problem. Now he had a couple of wins in there here and there, but most of it has been losses to Neville. It sucks because the guy is a championship caliber performer, but we'll see what happens. Neville does need to drop the belt at some point soon, though, because I mean it's run its course.
No later than SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And that's at the latest.
Yeah.
And SummerSlam is shaping up to be a show of transition for the entire company up and down the card, NXT, WWE. But we'll get there. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's shaping up to be kind of like a season finale, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, that's funny because they always call WrestleMania the season finale. But you did bring up Hideo Itami, and I mean he's also somebody that they could bring up as a challenger. I think Roderick Strong is another one they could bring up as a challenger
as well.
He was billed
at 200 pounds last night on NXT. Roddy Strong.
He's been billed
those little fuck boots don't weigh that much, so I think he's still good.
Yeah, he's been at 200 since he debuted, actually, if I remember correctly. Because I was doing the math. His first night was when he and Austin Aries were tag teaming in the last Dusty Rhodes Classic, and their opponents were Heavy Machinery. And I was like, okay, Austin Aries is being billed at 202, Roddy's billed at 200. That's 402 pounds. Versus Heavy Machinery, who was billed at a combined weight of 650 pounds.
Yeah,
how is this even a contest?
Beef. I know you love Heavy Machinery, but I'm still kind of on the fence a little bit. But they are two big dudes.
They
like to pack the weight.
My friendly beefy fellows. I love them so much.
Yeah, they are two big dudes.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah,
sorry.
There's a slew of challengers.
I think Neville wins. I think Neville wins this match.
Yeah. Hopefully Tozawa is eventually kept in the upper level of the cruiserweight rankings and eventually gets the title for himself because he's been a standout performer and I'd like to see him get more of a showcase.
Agreed. I like the guy a lot.
Yeah. All right.
Next, I'm just going to go in the order they're listed on Wikipedia. These are not the order they're going to be in.
Yeah, obviously.
Brock versus Joe.
Oh my God!
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 30 for this match.
Yeah, I'm about there too.
Wait for this match. My dad, who I've talked about before, cannot wait for this match. So listen to this. Monday night, I go back to my mom's house because my dad's having a barbecue. My mom and dad are divorced, but they live like 10 minutes apart.
Right.
So I go to my mom's house, spend Monday night there, go to my dad's house Tuesday for the barbecue. Dad drives me home. While we're talking about wrestling, like, all good father and sons do. And he's telling me about Raw, because I didn't see Raw because I went home Monday night. And I watched Fast and the Furious, because that's what I do. I watch bad movies with my sister.
Nothing wrong
he
with that.
He was raving about this segment. He goes, and Brock was just standing there saying, come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. And Joe was flipping out because he thought he was being disrespected.
Yep.
That's good stuff. This whole feud is so fucking awesome. And and you know me, I am the high priest of the cult of Brock Lesnar on this show. I love Brock Lesnar.
You love me. You love yourself some Brock Lesnar.
I love Brock Lesnar. I can't get enough of Brock Lesnar. I hope fucking Brock Lesnar loses this match and Joe gets the belt and Brock beats him for the belt at SummerSlam.
That would be awesome.
I hope Brock loses clean as a fucking sheet in this match.
I would be well enjoyed. I would well enjoy that.
I hope. I mean, well, maybe not clean as a sheet. Maybe like something like he runs into an exposed turnbuckle and gets the choke or something. Something like that. Yeah. But I hope Joe beats him. Like
the Goldberg match.
Sure. No. I want this to go more than a minute.
Yeah. Don't make it like the Goldberg match.
No. But I hope this is like 9 minutes of just two dudes just beating the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite matches of this year was the Goldberg Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That match was 5 minutes. That match was 4 moves. You know what the best part about that match was? The crowd booed Goldberg going in, and halfway through they were cheering his name.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you know what? And I've raved and I've waxed poetic about how much I love the Young Bucks, and we'll talk about the Young Bucks. But not every match needs to be a fucking flippy do spot fest.
Yeah, exactly. That match worked, and this match can work too.
Exactly.
Doesn't need to be a big orchestration. Not every match needs to be a fucking like Okada 45 minutes spectacular.
This match should be like 9 minutes of just no feeling out, no limb work, just two guys just throwing bombs.
Yeah, this match needs to be violent as fuck, and I think that will ensure that it is a winner. But
I hope it is.
Who knows?
I hope it's no more than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's just these two just horses just going at each other.
Yeah,
that's no other way to describe it.
Yeah,
you talk about beef. These two beefy mofos just blowing each other up. I cannot wait for this match.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. This match is gonna be like the highlight of my weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Speaking of two, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you on everything about this match. I would love for Joe to win, but
so would I. And I love Brock.
I'm thinking that Brock still gets the win, though. I mean,
I think he does.
That seems like the legitimate conclusion. Because I mean, Vince McMahon still loves him some Brock Lesnar.
I hope Joe stays top of the card, win or lose. I know that they originally started with we're going to use this to kill some time, elevate Samoa Joe for a little bit, and bounce him back down to the mid card, like he's Samoa Goto, for lack of a better terminology. But I hope Joe has done some of the best work in years in this program, and Brock and Paul have been great too. I don't want to make this just the Samoa Joe show. All three of the guys and the main guys involved have been sensational. They all played their roles to a T. But Samoa Joe has been a revelation. I didn't think he still had it after NXT, because his NXT run was shit. He had a mediocre match with Finn Balor and some bad matches with Shinsuke Nakamura. And I said, man, it takes effort to have a bad match with Shinsuke Nakamura. Bobby Roode has good matches with Shinsuke Nakamura. Bobby Roode is garbage.
He is.
Bobby Roode is average. He's not garbage. Bobby Roode is average.
The Dollar Store Triple H. We've talked about that.
Up to and including the facial hair at this point. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that he is basically cosplaying Triple H at this point?
Yeah.
So I am thoroughly excited for this match. Speaking of two big guys beating the shit out of each other, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman.
Oh God.
Talk about this match for a minute while I have a drink of water.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I went off on that match. I got to get a little water.
No. I mean, and this is my wheelhouse right here, because my excitement level for this match is about a 30 as well.
Oh yeah, if Brock is a 30, this is like a 29.
Yeah.
I'm awful excited for this match.
Yeah, and just as you are the resident Brock Lesnar mark on this show, I am the resident Roman Reigns mark on this show, and I've waxed poetic more than enough about how much I love his stuff, and how much I would like to see him get some legitimacy with the WWE universe. But that's another topic for another day, because I mean that's been covered ad nauseum in plenty of other places. So this is an ambulance match. The build for this started. What was the last pay-per-view? Not Money in the Bank. I have to look at what the last Raw pay-per-view was, because I mean this has just been bad. And it was not. Was it Payback? I think it might have been a Payback, actually. Yeah, it was Payback when Braun beat Roman. And then after the show, kept on attacking Roman to force him to be brought out to the back of the facility to be put into an ambulance. But Braun further attempted to damage him, and Roman dodged, and Braun went through the door of the ambulance and took the door off.
And messed his shoulder up.
And messed his shoulder up such that he had to take his time off. So that was now 2 months ago. That was April 30th. And now we're starting the payoff to that, which began, I want to say 3 weeks ago on Raw, when Braun made his big return while Roman was in the middle of a match with Samoa Joe. Braun made his return to the arena in an ambulance, came out of the back of the ambulance, did his big roar, distracted Roman. Roman got put in the coquina clutch and got put to sleep. And then the next week, Braun attacked Roman again, chucked him into the side of the ambulance, and then threw him in the back, shut the door of the ambulance, drove off. That was that. Coming up to this week on Raw, Braun, he had just finished up his match with Apollo Crews, beating the shit out of Apollo Crews, then proceeded to, post-match, also beat the shit out of Titus O'Neil. He brought Apollo Crews over to the ambulance that was so conveniently stationed on the stage there, because we have to remind everybody exactly what the stipulations are for Sunday's pay-per-view. And he goes and taps the back, and the ambulance doesn't drive off. Does it again. The ambulance doesn't drive off. Goes, checks the front. Roman then pops out of the front of the ambulance, backhands him, and they have some more fisticuffs, and eventually Roman spears him off the stage. Fantastic spot, by the way. If you ever want to make something look more effective, just have it be off of one higher level of surface to a lower level, off the ring, off the stage, off the announcer's table. All of that, all of those spots are always look more violent and more effective. So definitely wrestlers keep that in mind if you want to make something look high impact. That said, I mean, Roman Reigns is still Roman Reigns. He's still getting booed. Braun Strowman is getting over as a result of this in a huge way, which is perfectly fine. I'm okay with that because Strowman definitely deserves to get over. He's put the work in.
He really has. He's gotten light years better.
Yeah, and he's looked great and has been great, and I think that the right thing to do would be for Braun to win this match, because I mean they need to. I think that they need to make him in a big way, and a win over the supposed Golden Boy would be a way to make him for a very long time, rather than having him just be expected to be the next big show, minus all the face and heel turns. So I would like to see Braun Strowman win this match, and even saying that as the Roman fan that I am, because Roman is right now 2-4 on pay-per-view in 2017. And
before you go any further, one of those two is
The Undertaker,
and the other one is beating Braun Strowman clean in the middle of the ring.
Yes, but
I can see an ambulance match being used to protect the heel.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation. I can see it something along the lines of, well, he didn't really beat him. He just kind of put him in the ambulance. He didn't make him pin. He didn't pin him or make him submit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
of course.
So I can see Braun winning this match and then Roman getting his final vengeance at SummerSlam. Is SummerSlam the next Raw pay-per-view?
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Raw's been pretty damn good lately.
Yeah. Raw's been pulling itself out of the dumpster fire, which is nice.
It has. It's been my number one barometer for show is good or bad is it a torture to watch, and Raw has not been a torture to watch.
It's still hard because it's 3 hours, but
3+ hours, but it's not been like an ordeal.
Yeah.
I have not been watching the show looking at my clock and saying, oh my God, it's only 7:45. We have another 2 hours of this shit.
Yeah, I haven't been watching it with the volume turned down and playing Heroes of the Storm while the episode is going. Exactly. So that's a good sign.
Show. WWE has been a good show. In fact, while we're talking about, I'm in a props-giving mood.
All right.
WWE's been on a roll, match quality-wise, as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Roddy Strong and Bobby Roode last night.
Mm-hmm.
My boy AJ and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Asuka Nikki Cross.
Fantastic. Yep.
Nakamura Ziggler from TV was pretty good. Samoa Joe Roman Reigns was pretty good. A lot of good in-ring wrestling.
Yeah.
Up and down the card on all the shows.
Yeah. I mean, the storylines in a lot of these areas are still pretty garbage. One only needs to look at the women's division on SmackDown for garbage, but
the in-ring match stuff has been the best it's been in a while for them across the board.
And I am the in-ring mark of Cage Side and of this show, so I will definitely give credit where credit is due and say the performers are doing.
I just wanted to highlight that even guys with a little bit of time. I mean, AJ and Chad Gable Tuesday was what, 8 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
8 minutes.
It was a fairly short match. Yeah.
Yeah. 10 minutes, maybe high.
Yeah.
I mean, Nakamura Ziggler the second time was what, 15 minutes? It wasn't a long process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're starting to figure out that they don't need to follow the typical WWE formula for matches. I mean, or at the very least they're figuring out that it's okay to condense that, which is nice. But
so does Roman win here?
No, I don't think so. But I will echo sentiments of Marcel Laboursier. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, Marcel, because I've never had to actually pronounce it verbally. But the Golden Boy goes 2-5 for his 2017 pay-per-views, looking dumber than ever. But he wins all the time, and is the narrative still? Give me a fucking break. Absolutely.
Okay. My question to you is this.
I am on board with that of breaking the narrative.
It's a dumb narrative.
Of he win while Roman wins, still being a narrative that's
Roman's problem is that he can't erase the stink of 2015 and 2016.
Yeah, and he never will be able to at this point.
He won't be able to
because people are setting their minds.
Some of that stink is his own fault. I told you before, I was sitting in the crowd when This Is Real Life Chicago happened. That's no one's fault but his. A lot of it is not. He did not script himself to have a stupid tug of war with Brock Lesnar the night before WrestleMania 31.
Exactly.
He did not script himself to lose in 5 minutes to Sheamus.
Yeah.
So it's been a collective. It has been a collective failure.
He did not script himself to win the Royal Rumble with the help of The Rock.
No.
By the way, there was a fun discussion in the Daily today about what would have happened if in that spot where
future
Rock,
President Dwayne Johnson, by the way.
Future President Dwayne Johnson.
When you say his name, say it with the full title.
The discussion of what would have happened if in that moment when future President Dwayne Johnson was lifting Roman's hand in victory and the Philadelphia crowd was raining down boos on them, of what would have happened if Dwayne had said to Roman, "Listen, you need to turn heel right now. Spear me right now. And let the idiots in the back sort it out afterwards."
He's right.
Would be so funny as hell. I would have loved
Question
that.
for you, though. Speaking of Roman, before we go on any further, I don't want to get too sidetracked because we still got to talk about the G1. What does Roman do at SummerSlam? Win or lose? I don't think it matters.
No, I think it does. Because if he loses here, I mean, they're going to give him I'm fairly certain they're going to give him a rematch. Because he doesn't go into a Universal Championship match off a loss to Braun Strowman. It doesn't happen. I promise.
Does he go after Brock? Let's say he wins. Let's role play this.
If he wins, then yes, I believe he goes on to
a hot shot. You think I don't want to say hot shot. You think they go right to Brock Roman?
Well, it would make sense
for Mania. They do it now.
It would make sense because he called his shot. 2 weeks ago, he called his shot and said, I'm calling it now. Whoever wins at Great Balls of Fire, I want them at SummerSlam for the title. So it would make sense for them to follow up on that, and having him come off a win for that would make sense, narrative-wise. And I can see the merit in them running Roman Brock now, despite the fact that the Brooklyn crowd will shit all over him if he wins the title, and then running Roman Cena at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see the merit in that.
So can I.
But if he loses, I think that you get a rematch with Brock at SummerSlam, and then Roman doesn't see the title until Mania. Possibly as a Royal Rumble winner again. I'm not sure.
I think he wins here. And I think he wins here now that I'm talking myself into it. I think he wins here to put the Braun stuff to bed. And then he wins here, he goes after Brock, and then he goes after Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're going. Because you don't need the belt. Reigns Cena does not need the strap.
No.
Not the first time. Rock Cena didn't need the strap the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So Reigns Cena does not need the strap this time.
No.
Maybe if they run it again 2-3 years down the line, whatever, need the title, fine, whatever. The first time it doesn't need to be the title. It needs to be the torch moment. It needs to be Okada Tanahashi, Wrestle Kingdom 10 of the WWE. Now, whether or not Roman is the guy or is not the guy, I don't give a shit. They think he's the guy.
So they're going to make him be the guy.
Exactly. We have spilled many, many words. We have said many words. We have spoken, written, tweeted, Facebooked, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever the fuck people do. Many words. But whether or not Roman Reigns is the guy, I'm tired of that conversation. It is what it is.
They've decided he's the guy, and that's what's going to happen.
That's what matters.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how many petitions you try to file online. Doesn't matter how many boycotts you try to organize through Twitter. It's not going to change the fact that they've decided.
Doesn't matter how many people turn off their television sets, and the answer is a lot, as we've discussed. They think he's the guy, so he's going after Cena at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's actually something that I just thought of. It's also possible that if he loses here, that they don't go for a rematch. And what they decide to do instead, here's the other scenario I'm thinking of. It's going to be there's a trio of options as I see it. There is either Roman wins and Joe wins, or Roman wins and whoever wins the Brock Joe match, Roman goes after them. There is Roman loses and then goes on to a rematch with Braun, and then but that's only if Joe wins, and then we get Joe Brock 2 at SummerSlam. If Braun wins and Brock wins, I think we get Braun Brock at SummerSlam, and we get Roman Cena at SummerSlam as the non-title match.
I don't think Roman Cena is going anywhere but in that dome in Louisiana. I think Cena's going to Jinder. It's going to be the Make Jinder Great Again match.
I really just don't want that.
Nobody wants it.
I'm trying to
run the company.
I'm trying to promote some sort of a positive alternative to that because it's
get my mindset, dude. SummerSlam. What does John Cena do at SummerSlam? He loses at SummerSlam.
I mean, but he could lose to Roman at SummerSlam. It would be so much better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Anything could be better.
My foolish idealism is shining through right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You got to be a bitter, old, jaded bastard like me. You'll go far.
I'll get there eventually. I'll get there.
All right, next. Let's go through these because those are the two big ones.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks.
A shoot fight.
My new BFF, Sasha Banks. No, I wish. Sasha's awesome.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Ronda Rousey versus Misha Tate. That's basically what this match is.
Yeah. Only it won't end with Ronda Rousey. It won't end with one of these two sitting there crying in the back. Yeah. Apparently, that's what happened at the end of the Ronda Rousey fight. She sat there on the floor, curled up in a ball, and was crying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't blame her because she fought a shit fight in that match.
Yeah.
But,
there's a great. I gotta find it. There's a great streamable of the audio of just her corner man, and all he's doing is yelling "move" and "punch."
Yeah.
Like the advice you get when you play a boxing video game.
Yeah.
This is your corner man. All he's doing is yell, "Move your feet and punch."
Yeah. Like, no.
This is your advice.
That's not how that works.
That's advice. Give real advice. Shoot fights.
Oh,
Alexa for Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I think that, and I hate to, and this is going to be my miserable cynic moment here because, and I'm going to have another one of them later. But my miserable cynic here moment is that Alexa wins via some bullshit shenanigans, and then we get Alexa Nia at SummerSlam, which is going to be a fucking 0-star match. But yeah, I'm going with Alexa, and I'm sorry in advance, Matt DSM and all the other Sasha Banks fans out there.
I stand for Sasha.
Yeah, I am sticking by what my gut is telling me, which is that Vince wants to stick with his hot blondes. So I think we get Alexa winning here, and then we get Alexa Nia at SummerSlam in what will be a pure garbage match.
Alexa Nia is going to be terrible.
Yeah. All right, what do you got?
For Alexa Sasha?
Yeah.
Alexa's going to win, and I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, same thing.
Strong heel territory.
Yeah.
And then we're going to Alexa Nia, and it's going to be god-awful. It's going to be like the worst of the Divas matches from 5 years ago.
Oh, God.
It's going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bayley's nowhere to be found. Sasha's nowhere to be found. They'll be in some tag match on the pre-show. I'm going to win.
Bayley is apparently saying that she needs an image change, and I don't blame her for saying that because
they wanted to cut a promo.
Well, they completely fucked over the image.
100% they fucked
on the main
over.
roster. On the main roster, they took what was a great gimmick and turned it into a shitty one because, as I said back at Extreme Rules, there's a very big difference between being virtuous and being a dumbass. They took a person who was virtuous and turned her into a dumbass.
And here's another deal. Yes, I grant you the premise that they fucked Bayley over, 100%. But you know what we are learning? You know what we have learned throughout the months and years? That there is a world of difference, Brother Christopher, between getting over in front of 300 neckbeards at Full Sail and getting over in front of 15,000 people on the main roster.
Yeah, it really is.
There is a world, and we discussed this weeks ago. Are they failing their performers by not scripting NXT to be closer to Raw and SmackDown?
No, they're failing their performers by not having Raw and SmackDown be better shows.
Well, yes.
And I don't care about your Donald Rumsfeld logic of you go to army with the warrior, you go to war with the army that you have, all that shit. No, I'm not.
We're stuck with the army we have.
I get it. You're fighting by that because it could be better.
Yes.
We have proof that it could be better.
Yes.
No.
NXT is there's either way. Let's set that aside. You're right. Let's set that aside. There is a world of difference between getting over in front of 400 people at Full Sail and getting over in front of 15,000 people on Raw. Regardless of anything else, though.
The things that help to get people over, the things that got people over in front of 400 people at Full Sail, though, did work in front of crowds of thousands of people that saw these showcases. Look at all the NXT takeovers. The same people that went to NXT Takeover Brooklyn and saw Sasha Bailey won and lost their fucking minds about it. I was one of those people. The same people that were at that show, almost all of them were then at SummerSlam the following night and Raw the night after that. It's not hard. These crowds are it's essentially the same crowds. They still will get over. I don't know.
There are major systemic problems with the way NXT prepares its talent for the main roster. There are major systemic problems with the way talent is used in the main roster.
Yes.
There are major systemic problems with this company as a whole. But thankfully, we have New Japan, which we'll talk about in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt.
God, why?
This is the I gotta run to the bodega and get cookies match for me.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, that match is gonna be.
I used to love Seth Rollins, and then he got hurt, and then he got bad, and he had a shitty title run into 2015 where he lost every match on television. And Bray Wyatt got his balls chopped off all the time and decided he was a fucking wizard.
You know, I talked about this with somebody in the Daily. Might have been yesterday. Yeah, well, it definitely was yesterday. It's actually I was talking with Brother Videns in the Daily yesterday about the difference that would have made if they had, in fact, let the Shield stay together for another year, and how it would have made all three guys infinitely better. Not just for the benefit of the company, because I mean, if they had kept the Shield together for another year, they would still be able to make bank off of Shield merchandise now, 2 years after the fact. But if they had kept them together for another year and let them have a full face run, those three guys could have all very easily worked out the problems that we see them all having now. We would have had a Roman Reigns who was more prepared for significant time with a microphone and delivering promos up and down the spectrum. We would have had a Seth Rollins who was able to iron out his storytelling issues in the ring and figure out how to be cohesive and be a more even-keeled performer. And we would have had Dean Ambrose who would have been able to prove that he is more than just this dumbass lunatic gimmick, and that he has depth and range as a performer that they haven't given him the chance to show. And the fact that they were in such a rush to break up the Shield because they needed to make a new top guy. I mean, granted, hindsight being what it is, obviously we know that wasn't a necessary thing, but I'm sure that they had their reasons for thinking that they needed to do that. But, I mean, all the same, those three guys were all significantly hampered for probably the entirety of their careers. You know, what they've already gone through since the breakup and what is remaining of their careers. You know, all three of them have been handicapped by this. They've been hamstrung. You know, whatever verb you want to use for it. They've all been severely held back because of it, and it's a shame. It really is.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, and this is the Exhibit 1A of that. You know, the fact that Seth Rollins, who was known for a very long time for being a solid, well-rounded competitor, has become the video game wrestler. You know, he is. I don't know what it was. You know, for while he was injured, if he just lost his rhythm, if he just got out of the habit of figuring out his storytelling, or if that long chicken shit heel run really did just drain a lot of his skills out of him, whatever it was. I mean, he's lost so much of the magic that he used to have, and it sucks. It really does. I mean, I wish that we could get Shield Seth Rollins back, because that was a special performer. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, we talked about this, but the Shield was perfectly booked to accentuate all three guys' strengths and hide all the weaknesses. You had Dean Ambrose cutting in and cutting promos, which he's good at, and opening the matches and doing a little bit of brawling, which he's good at. You had Seth Rollins taking all the bumps and being the face in peril, which he's good at. And you had Roman Reigns come in and destroy people, which he's good at.
Yeah. And now none of them are doing those
Breaking
things.
news. If you put your talent in position to succeed, they will succeed.
Accentuate
regardless of what
their
the job is.
Yep.
So it's just the whole thing is just astonishing to me, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, this I'm gonna say I'm calling this one as a win for Seth because this has just been a garbage feud.
Bray Wyatt, by this point, poisons everything he comes in contact with. Remember that, like,
I'm fairly certain
where, like, everyone who sits by Bart has failing grades just because they sit by Bart? It's like that. Yeah. Bray Wyatt is Bart. He's a vortex of shit.
Yeah.
It's a black hole.
This is the epitome of, there was that whole all those discussions that went around about how WWE is slowly working their way back up to significant programs that they get to build for SummerSlam, but it's slow right now, so they're going to be trying to kill time. This is the epitome of that killing time. This program has been garbage, and both of these guys need to move on to different things. Rollins needs to get to a performer who he can work with that will accentuate his strengths. I'm hoping that's Finn Balor, and Bray Wyatt just needs to fucking reinvent himself. Do something, because he is not providing anything of merit on the show. I don't care how many people hold up the flashlights on their phones and pretend to be fireflies and all that crap. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. He's garbage on the mic. He's garbage in the ring. He's not contributing anything worthwhile to the show. He doesn't have the mystique of the Undertaker. He doesn't have
or the work rate.
Or the work rate of the Undertaker. He doesn't have
the promo ability. Or the charisma.
Yeah. Any of the things that matter.
With the Undertaker, except the facial hair, and not even that.
Yeah. None of the things that matter that the Undertaker had does Bray Wyatt have.
Like we say Bobby Roode is a dime store Triple H. Like Bray Wyatt is like the homeless man's Undertaker. Like the homeless indebted man's Undertaker.
We'll call him the Salvation Army Undertaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You get the little crackers.
He is the Salvation Army Undertaker. It's awful. All right.
Speaking of good promos, Enzo Amore versus Big Cass. Props to Enzo. Good promo on Raw. Real good promo on Raw.
Oh my God. Enzo. I talked about this last week. Talk about it again. Enzo showed a side of himself. Yeah, Enzo showed a side of himself with these promos past couple of weeks that I was not aware that he had. I mean, it's always been, certified G, SAWFT soft, all that stuff for the length.
And he really revealed himself to be vulnerable.
Yeah. This was first, the one last week was the reveal of the vulnerability and the soft side, let's say. And then this week it was well, now I'm going to have the fire. And and it's not going to be the fucking, dropping puns and shit, that kind of stuff to play mind games with the opponents. No, I'm just pissed off, and I'm going to show you that I'm pissed off. And it works. It works fantastically well. The man has a gift for performance. I would love to see them give him opportunity after this to clean up his appearance and become WWE Stokely Hathaway, because I'm certain he could do it. I'm certain he could become WWE Stokely Hathaway with minimal effort. So, props to Enzo for showing
I am a fan of the guy. He was very, very good. Yeah. He's still a terrifically bad professional wrestler. But he's absolutely a damn good promo, and I'm invested in him.
Yeah.
Next on this show, here we go.
Wait, we didn't even talk about the results or Big Cass for that matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that Big Cass is going to win this match, and it's going to be a terrible match because neither one of these guys is an all-star in the ring by any stretch.
Two more performance center guys, Chris. I'm telling you, this theory's got a little bit of. I like my little theory.
Yeah, you're turning into Swift here with your conspiracy theories.
I'm telling you, two more performance center guys.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I got Cass winning. You got Cass winning also?
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's too bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if they let Enzo just go full-time manager and let him show this well-spoken side of himself and not have him revert back to the certified G, I'm 100% okay with that. I know that the chant gets over and all that stuff. I know that people like
a new chant over.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't need to have the same thing going that's been going for what now? 4 years?
5 years, maybe? Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. All right, now we have the Intercontinental Championship, The Miz and his entourage versus Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose. Speaking of guys who do nothing for me, I miss John Moxley.
Yeah, well, that was why I brought up what I did there about the Shield guys, because we know that Dean Ambrose is capable of doing more. We know that.
Yep.
We know he's capable of
I miss the long-haired Dean Ambrose who held the steady cameras, the shaky cameras, remember, and cut the promos that were really great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That was a great character. The thing about Dean Ambrose is that since they went with this whole lunatic fringe garbage, they've given him precisely two moments to really show that he can be something outside of that. And both of those moments, he's killed it. The first was the match before WrestleMania 32 when he faced Triple H at Roadblock. The first Roadblock, not Roadblock End of the Line, the show that spawned this podcast, but
the first Roadblock, yeah, absolutely,
yeah, the one in Canada, yeah, and he faced Triple H for the title, and it was a great match, and he really showed some dimension to his performance. It was fantastic. And then the other was when he was feuding with AJ Styles, and then simultaneously feuding with AJ Styles and John Cena. That period of time when there was the three of them in the title scene on SmackDown Live was a fantastic period for Dean Ambrose. He really showed a lot of greatness in that program, I feel. But those have been the only two times when he's been able to, to make something of himself, when he's been able to be serious and to be a force to be reckoned with. The rest of it has been goofy comedy, bring the concession stand down to the ring and spray people with mustard and ketchup, Dean Ambrose. Or steal Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase and put fucking Pepsi in it or whatever it was, and JBL's hat, all that stuff. It's like, really, guy, you're capable of so much more, and you're just letting them do this. And I mean, I understand that he only has so much agency for himself, but come on, you can do more than this.
You can do better.
Yeah.
The Miz is going to win this match, right?
Yeah, he is. And
probably deservedly so.
Yeah, I mean, we know my feelings on the Miz, but I mean, at this point, I'm okay with this just being the end to this feud and letting them move on to something else, because I mean, we've seen this before. That's the thing. We saw it
on SmackDown.
Yeah, we saw it on SmackDown, and it was better on SmackDown. We've seen this before. They ran better on SmackDown, and we don't need to see it again. What I'd like to have next, I'm not going to get it, but what I would like to have next is have it be Roman Reigns versus The Miz for the IC title. I'm not going to get it, but that's what I'd like to have next.
Sure, I'd be down for that.
As for Dean, I don't care. I mean, he's another guy, not quite as bad as Bray Wyatt, but he needs to figure something else out. I mean, I don't know what, but he needs to figure something out. That's
and finally,
sad state for Dean Ambrose. Anyway, yes, finally.
No, you're right. I have nothing to say. I agree with you. You're right. Yeah. Dean is a mess. He's treading water, and he's a mess on his end, and he's a mess on their end, like everyone else.
Yep.
They keep. I don't know. They're doing him wrong, but he's doing them wrong too at the same time.
Matt DSM just had an excellent comparison in the live thread.
Ooh,
Bray is to Undertaker as Dolph Ziggler is to Shawn Michaels.
Ooh, that may be selling Dolph short.
So true.
That may be selling Dolph short, actually. Now that I mean, Dolph is better than Bray.
Although this
I mean,
week in that battle royal when he came out with the long hair and the denim vest and shit, that was just like, God, why are you trying to be Salvation Army Shawn
Michaels? And he was in full blown don't give a shit mode.
Yeah. Maybe he finally is not resigning. I would be fine with that.
God willing. Go to New Japan. Join Taguchi Japan. Why the fuck not? I'd be okay with it.
No, don't put him in a stable I like.
Fine. Put him in fucking Bullet Club with every other bad white guy.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Why not? Why the hell not?
Yeah. All right. Finally.
Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boys in an Iron Man match. This match should be pretty good.
This should not be an Iron Man match.
No, it should not.
No, this should not be an Iron Man match.
No,
this match is going to go about 15 minutes too long.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Poor Matt Hardy can't go for 30 minutes without something crazy happening. You know?
Yeah. And Jeff is gonna do, like, they're gonna have him wait to do his stupendously stupid spot until late in the match, and until he gets that stupendously stupid spot, it's gonna be kind of a stinker of a match. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of downtime.
And I mean, when I brought up my opinion about this in the Daily, people were saying to me, well, yeah, I mean, the Hardys did have an excellent ladder match with the Young Bucks on Mania weekend that went for like 25, 30 minutes or however long it was. I don't even remember. And people were heaping praise on it. And I'll admit up front, I did not see the match, so I have no idea if the match is worthy of that praise or not. Or if it was simply just wrestling Twitter being wrestling Twitter when it comes to the Broken Hardys gimmick, because we know how much wrestling Twitter loves them some Broken Hardys. But going off of what I have seen of the Hardy Boys in this run since WrestleMania, and specifically what I saw in that friggin' steel cage match, I am not looking forward to this. I mean, Cesaro and Sheamus, they're going to do the lion's share of the work, and they're going to do their best to get this over. And props to them, because they do good work in between the ropes. But I do not see them being able to overcome, like, late in the match. I don't see them being able to overcome the Hardys' limitations that exist on them because of age.
Agreed. They're good, but they're not miracle workers.
No. But, I mean, the bright side to it is that Cesaro and Sheamus are more than likely going to retain. So,
truth.
They can move on to something else.
Truth. Which would be
what?
I
think is the right. Well, I mean, my instinct is that we take that lower card program that's been getting itself over so much and turn it into a tag team with Akira Tozawa and Apollo Crews challenging for the Raw Tag Team titles. That would be what I would like to see. The other thing that I would like to see is for them to get the Revival the fuck off of main event and have them challenge for the titles. But that's a heel versus heel challenge.
Who's gonna turn?
I don't think that they're gonna do that. But
and the Revival are too good to keep heel to turn them as babyface.
Yeah, they just have that heel thing down so well. They know what the fuck they're doing. And they do it well, too. I mean, everything
they do. They're very good at it. So you excited for this show? I'm excited for this show.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that the good on this show is going to outweigh the bad. I think that
the bad is going to be limited. And the bad is not going to be a long time. Like, Alexa Bliss for Sasha Banks could be bad, but it's going to be 6 minutes of bad.
Yeah.
Enzo Amore versus Bray Wyatt could be bad, but I'll be getting cookies, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Enzo and Big Cass will be a short match, and there's not going to be a lot to that. There's also talk that there's something involving either a segment or a match involving Finn Balor and Elias Sampson will make its way onto the show, and
there's a lot on this show without that.
I'm perfectly fine with that, because I dig Elias Sampson. I'm a fan of his stuff, and I would like to see him get a chance to show some stuff off. So I'm okay with that being a thing that happens. And what else? I think it's the only other thing that's. I think that's the only other thing that has a possibility of making its way into the show. Although they might also use this as an opportunity to pay off the whole "what's going on with Kurt Angle and his cell phone."
I don't think they know the answer to that.
I think they know the answer, but I think they don't know how to get there. And the answer is Stephanie McMahon comes back to reassert herself on Raw. But I don't
Triple H at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I don't think they know how to get there.
By the way, if we get Kurt Angle versus Triple H at SummerSlam, I want you to be quiet for a second. Do you hear that screaming from Washington State? That's Daniel Bryan not being cleared if they clear Kurt Angle and his broken freaking neck and his multiple concussions. But they don't clear Daniel Bryan.
If they do that, you can expect Daniel Bryan to just start shooting on the company on Talking Smack until he gets himself fired. He might even come right out and say, "Hey, you cleared Kurt Angle, but you don't clear me. Please fire me so I can wrestle somewhere else." I would not be surprised if he just started going off because he knows. Daniel Bryan knows that he is the hottest commodity, even still, on his own goddamn show. Even on a show that includes Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan is still the hottest commodity on his damn show. And
yes, he makes the show better.
And people want to see him doing something of substance. So I would not be surprised if he takes advantage of the fact that he knows he has that platform to say, you know what, middle finger to Vince McMahon. Either you clear me and let me wrestle, or you fucking fire me, eat the millions of dollars that you will owe me for breach of contract, and then let me go to CMLL or New Japan and actually do what I love to do.
I am hyped for Bryan Danielson in the 2019 G1 Climax.
Oh, God, yeah.
I am hyped. I am hyped for Danielson Okada at the Dome. I am hyped for Danielson Atlantis at the CML Anniversario show. I am hyped for all of it.
Oh, man. That would be...
I will travel the country in a trailer like a vagabond, like a Grateful Dead fan to watch Bryan Danielson wrestle. No, I won't. I hate trailers.
I know you too well. I know you're too much of a homebody for that.
I'll just fly.
You don't have the money for that. I'm calling you out on your bullshit today, sir.
No, I don't. But I'll somehow do it. I don't know.
We'll watch it from the comfort of our homes and be glad that we get to see it in some capacity.
Yes, in some form or fashion.
Yeah. That will be the thing that gets me to consistently watch CMLL Friday nights.
Would be Bryan Danielson
I don't consistently watch it enough. I know I should, but, I would be on board.
Well, usually we're talking. That's why.
Yeah. We're usually talking, and I would probably be distracted as all my ADD would be like, "Ooh, what's going on in the ring?" I would lose track of whatever you were saying.
There's Caminero Barbario.
Yeah. Like, what's that? Dragon Lee versus Bryan Danielson? What's that? Match of the year? What?
We would just stop talking and just start marking out. We would do running.
Hey, I mean, we need to practice our own commentary for when WWE hires us. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, yes. Right.
We're way better than that Sam Rosenberg fella.
Oh my God, we're way better than JBL and Lita. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The title of this week's show.
Bad commentary.
Yeah, the title of this week's show. Well, before we get into the meat of that, I want to say the title of this week's show. I stuck with the music references that we were on last week, but this time I went to the Beastie Boys, scheming on a thing that's a mirage. I'm telling all y'all it's sabotage.
I like it. Clever. I approve.
This G1 show. I don't know.
The wrestling
who
was
thought it was a good idea.
The commentary was very bad.
Yeah, the action for 90% of these two nights was top notch. I haven't even seen these things, but I know it's top notch, and I'm going to be watching it over the weekend. I'm going to get.
Oh, they're unbelievable! I watched them live.
Yeah.
I mean, the tag matches are goofy, but I mean,
the tag matches are New Japan tag matches. That's what they are.
Tag match. They're undercard tag matches with Marty Scurll and doing his chicken wing and breaking fingers and shit. I mean, what did you expect was going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. Although I am interested in watching the LIJ versus Team CMLL.
Oh, that's fun.
Tag match there. That looks like fun. Who the hell are the Tempura Boys? Does anybody know?
I'm not quite sure, but they have great abs. And I appreciate some good abs.
I have to guess that they're either from Noah or DDT or somebody else, but I mean, what do I know? All I know is that Yohei Komatsu, one of the Tempura Boys, I think the other one also are both. Maybe just Yohei Komatsu, but he's competing in the Super J Cup over at Rev Pro. So
looks like they were on excursion real recently.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But Sho Tanaka's got some sexy abs.
Yeah, those boys, they got it going on.
They got it going on. They don't eat.
All right, so I'm gonna rely on you to provide most of the recaps of the action.
Tag matches because they're tag matches. Jay Lethal versus Hangman Page. Shit, horrible match.
The one black mark. The one black mark.
Bad. Hangman Page is trash, and Jay Lethal is a fat bastard right now for some reason.
I'm really disappointed in that because I expected Jay Lethal to be garbage because he hasn't been very good lately. But Hangman Page,
we'll get there.
I'm really hoping that he, because
the Jay Lethal Omega match was pretty fun.
I want Hangman Page to turn around. I want him to actually be something more than
match was.
Generic.
Maybe it was just.
I want him to be more than generic Bullet Club Goon number 6.
Yeah, he's generic Bullet Club Goon number 6.
But
he has a new more. Something. Yeah, no, this match maybe bad chemistry. Maybe it was just this match was no good. I think I went 2 stars.
I can't say that it's bad chemistry because when it was the tag match of Page and Cody versus Jay Lethal and Shibata at Honor Rising, that match went great. That was a fantastic match. And Page was the star of that match. So I can't say that it was bad chemistry. Maybe they were just both having an off night. And Jay Lethal also has gained a lot of weight since then. So maybe, him being a fat bastard now is
he's a little doughy. I don't like it. I miss lean Lethal. Also, you know what else I miss is heel Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
This bland babyface Jay Lethal does nothing for me.
I mean, I get that he is, like the face of ROH now, or one of the faces of ROH now. He's been there for so freaking long that now he's like an elder statesman there. But I mean, you can do something with an elder statesman to fill a heel gimmick.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Suzuki, who's like the oldest guy in all of Japanese wrestling, and he's
the oldest guy in Japan, actually, in the entire country.
I thought you were going to say, yeah. Did you say the entire country or the entire?
The entire country. He's the oldest guy in the entire country, or at least the oldest guy on Honshu. He's the oldest guy on Honshu. I'll say that. I can't speak knowledge about the age people on like Hokkaido, but he's definitely the oldest person on Honshu.
I mean, there is still the Emperor,
Oh yeah, other than him. Other than the Emperor, he's the oldest person in the country. This show has gone off the fucking rails.
Oh my god!
I like our weeknight shows. We're a little more punchy.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I wish Suzuki was on this show. This crowd was, what? Real quick segue. This crowd was so knowledgeable about this shit. They would have sung along to his theme song.
Oh yeah,
this was a New Japan crowd. People knew who everybody was. They knew what to expect. They knew what everyone was good at. They were New Japan fans.
A chorus of Kaze Minare to rival that you hear at Osaka Joe.
Oh,
it would have been fantastic.
It would have been great. Sabre Jr., our boy, Zachy 3 Belts versus Juice Robinson. Yet another performance center washout who hit it big somewhere else.
Yep.
I love that theory. This match had a lot of
You're gonna ride this one for as long as you possibly can.
I'm riding it like a horse in Red Dead Redemption. I'm just gonna keep hitting X and go faster and faster. This match was great. It had a lot of submissions. Mm-hmm. It had a lot of juice. House of Fire. It ended with the octopus thing, where Juice almost reached the ropes, but then Zach would pull his arm back, and then Juice almost reached the ropes with his leg, but he pulled his arm back, and Juice was forced to submit. Fun match. Would recommend. Solid 4-star match.
Nice. It sounded like, from what I heard, it was a nice callback to when Sabre put Juice in the octopus hold during that gauntlet match at Dominion.
Yes. It was fun. Yeah. Juice is pretty great. Juice is pretty great. The commentary made a gay joke. you're gonna something along the line, something along. Yeah. Do you heard this joke? I know you weren't really watching.
Yeah, I heard about it. It was Josh Barnett
good.
basically said that Juice's rainbow pants would get him a lot of male fans, and
yeah,
from what I heard, apparently he realized midway through that it was
he had to keep going. He just
plowed through it.
Yeah, he had to.
You should have known better than to even start that joke.
He was too stupid to not say it in the first place, but smart enough to realize once he went down that road, he was fucked.
Oh my god!
I
wasn't
early on. It was horrible
watching commentary regarding him because I was too horrified by what I was seeing about JR. But I hope that
stuff was a nightmare, man.
I hope that LGBTQ equality Twitter ripped Josh Barnett apart for that because that's fucking awful.
All Twitter should.
Yeah, all of Twitter should. Not just that segment of Twitter. All of Twitter should rip Josh Barnett a new one for that one.
It was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Then we had Tanahashi and Kushida and Jay White and David Finlay beat Billy Gunn and Yoshitatsu and Yohei Komatsu and Shio Tanaka, our boys, the Tempura boys.
Yes.
Whatever. Tag match. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Jay White
I don't know why.
Flatliner.
I don't know why Billy Gunn is still a thing, but he is still a thing. But we'll get to that for night 2 because I know about what happened on night 2 and I'm sad.
Next we had War Machine versus your boys, the Gorillas of Destiny, in a no DQ match, and Ray Rowe pretty damn great. Chase Owens came out, generic Bullet Club guy number 7, to try to help Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah.
But War Machine managed to win. Couple cool German suplexes. They did the what's it called? The leg drop, the fallout, right? Yeah, the fallout. Through a table on Tangaroa. Thoroughly great. 4 big dudes just beating the crap out of each other. Not a ton of profanity, unfortunately. I know.
I was gonna ask, was there the requisite amount of profanity?
Not the requisite amount of profanity, unfortunately.
And this was a weird one. People were asking why did they put the belts back on the Gorillas at Dominion if they were going to lose to War Machine here. I mean, obviously because it's a U.S. crowd, they had to do something to pander to the U.S. crowd. But it's all right. These 4 guys have.
I'm okay with it.
These 4 guys have great matches with each
War
other.
Machine's coming to AEW next week.
Yes, and next week we're going to be talking. We're going to be previewing that AEW show.
I will be previewing that show, and I'll be talking about it the week after because I am. Not only is Matt Riddle making his triumphant return to AEW, but George is making his triumphant return to AEW as well.
We'll get to that next week. But I mean, these 4 guys, they don't have bad matches with each other.
No, they don't.
I'm looking forward to the next time they face off.
Next,
I'm looking forward to the next time they face off.
Next, we had the MVP of the tournament in his match, Tomohiro Ishii, or as my father calls him, the short guy with no neck who beats the crap out of people. Which, of course, my dad loves, because my dad has not watched this yet because he does not have the New Japan World. But they're showing it on Access Friday night. You need to watch the main event, Kenny Omega and Ishii. He goes, I like Omega. He wrestled Naito last year in the G1. And I said, yes. And he goes, is Ishii the short guy with no neck who beats the crap out of people? Yeah. And I said, yes. And he goes, I like that guy.
I'm going to make a reference here to early 2000s, the annals of the internet. But annals of the internet, I can't believe I pronounced that incorrectly, but whatever. The early 2000s annals of the internet here. For those of you who have ever been to homestarrunner.com, Ishii is basically strong mad. That is what he is.
That is a great eye proof. You hear that? Makes me clapping. That is a great reference.
I have out in my living room, I have a Homestar Runner 14 by 12 poster or something like that with all the characters from everything that ever happened on that website.
It looks like a refrigerator. And he does look like a refrigerator.
Yeah. He's basically strong mad. It's perfect.
He is just an angry block of man.
Yeah.
Everybody was over. It was well paced. Naito hits his awesome missile dropkick, bleeding from the mouth, from the forearms. Naito does the brainbuster into a DDT. A couple Germans spit blood in Ishii's face because he's just ingovernable.
He is ingobernable.
Yeah, went back and forth with the forearms and the drop kicks and the Naito does that little knee drop kick, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just so great.
It's not, without the full extension.
Went to Destino, got clotheslined out of his shoes. Ishii, brainbuster right in the middle of the ring. Great match, 4 stars, awesome match.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, first of all, your ass better call somebody. But if you didn't know, Tetsuya Naito is awesome, and Tomohiro Ishii is awesome, and all this was awesome. Yeah. Then we had an even better match.
Ishii is 40 years old and is still putting on 4-star matches on the regular. Give that guy a run with the main belt, please, New Japan. I know that he's not the 200 million yen man, but for the love of God, give Ishii a run with the belts.
Then we had Kenny Omega versus Big Mike. Another match which was sickeningly awesome. They did some of those chops. They did some of those chops early, and everyone's chest was red. Mm-hmm. Elgin did his long-ass vertical suplex. Omega did a moonsault off the apron. Elgin beat the 20 count, and once he beat the 20 count, this match got great. Did all sorts of cool shit. Delayed Elgin with delayed Germans. Holds the wrists together, so he does the multiple Germans. The deadlift, the long suplex spot, power slams on the apron. Omega was just bumping like a mofo for this guy. 400 triggers, all of which sounded great. Styles Clash, 400, I counted them. 400 V triggers, V trigger, 1-winged angel, 4.5 stars, even 4 3/4 stars.
Did I hear you say Styles Clash? Clash?
He did Omega ends up using 3 running V triggers. I wrote this down. The Poison Hurricane Rana, 2 more V triggers, and then kind of a weird modified Styles Clash. And then another V trigger, and then the 1-winged angel, all for the pin.
He is unbreakable for a reason.
Mike is the best. I love him, and he gave as well as he got. Yeah. Mike Elgin is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, and his matches like this are why.
He's just a good dude in general, and he runs a
great
promotion.
He runs
a great promotion in Glory Pro. Yeah, we were actually talking before the show about Glory Pro's running a show in St. Louis this weekend, and one of the matches happening is Tall Donovan Dijak, facing off against Naomichi Marufuji. And they had a little bit of a Twitter thing earlier today that I found hilariously funny. Dijak takes a picture of himself in the shower, like soaping up his chest extra because he's like, got to prepare myself for those Marufuji chops. And then Marufuji retweets him or quote tweets him with. I guess that's called subtweeting. I'm not up on the lingo that the Twitter kids use. But he subtweets him and says, he writes something in Japanese. And, God, I need to actually, like, pull this up and say exactly what the translate said. Here it is. Hang on.
I'm listening.
Here we go. I'm his chest like Ripper with chops. And then Dijak subtweets that and says, well, that's concerning. I am here for Tall Donnie versus Marufuji. I am so here for that. I need to find that match if Glory Pro streams or does any like broadcast of their shows, I need to see that because that sounds
that looks great. Match. And the main event is Mike Elgin versus Cody Rhodes. And it's 2 o'clock on Sunday, and I'm seriously thinking about taking the train the 4 hours to St. Louis and watching this match.
Oh, man. So fantastic. Speaking of Cody Rhodes,
we call that in the business a segue.
Yeah, I love those segues. The main event of Saturday night.
Sorry, I got to pull up my little cheat sheet. Cody Rhodes and his hot wife against our boy, Kazuchika Okada. This match was okay. I think I went 3.5. It went a little long.
It's a Cody Rhodes match. What do you expect? Yeah, and there was a ton of callbacks to the bullshit at Dominion.
Yep, with the towel and all the other bullshit, and it went long.
Yeah.
Cody tried to the crossroads, finally hit it. Crowd popped. Okada was a maestro as he always is.
Yeah.
Hit the tombstone, couple rainmakers. Omega comes out. He's going to throw in the towel, but he doesn't. He wants to make Brandy throw in the towel. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here wanting to kill myself watching this. Just like, get to the point. I don't need any more Cody Rhodes.
I hear Okada actually hit a crossroads also.
He did, and it was better than Cody Rhodes's.
What a surprise. Not at all.
What a surprise. I'll say this. Isn't it a testament to Gato's booking ability that people seriously thought Cody Rhodes would win the title?
Yeah. I mean, we were both dreading it.
Having Wrestle Kingdom be the finale to the Bullet Club drama isn't a bad angle.
No, not at all.
Now that I think about it.
I want that to be a thing.
And one more random note.
Mm-hmm.
I really, as someone in the Daily pointed out a couple days ago, I forget who it is, but they said it right. How great would it be if Vince had the sack to be Roman's hype man like Gato is Okada's hype man?
Oh, man.
Like for every Roman Reigns match, Vince comes out and he pounds the mat and he's cheering for him and he's cutting promos after the match, and that would be the best.
I think that would like blow the collective minds
I'd love it.
all of the entire smart community, because
for that reason alone, I want it to happen.
Yeah, because we know how it is. You know, we saw it at the night after Mania. You know,
Exactly.
Roman came out, gave his promo, was booed to high heaven. Vince comes out, everybody's fucking singing his theme song. And yeah, I don't care that immediately after that they were chanting Roman sucks at him, because they still cheered the fuck out of him after everything he said after, well, if that's how you really feel about it, and then launched into his point. And then everybody still cheered the fuck out of him. Like, you guys are fucking sheep. You are sheep. Yeah. You are. I'm calling wrestling Twitter, wrestling Reddit, all of you, you're fucking sheep. I'm just calling it like it is. Oh, yeah, going back to the Homestar Runner character parallels, Net DSM, thank you. Vince is king of town. He is that delusional that he could be the king of town. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so that was night one. Do we want to further address the disaster of commentary from that night?
Sure. It was really it was much worse than that one than it was night two. It was inexcusably bad during the multi-man matches because they had no idea what was going on.
And
it got
even
a little better during the one matches. It was a little better. I mean, it went from an X to a C.
Yeah, it was great. I heard that JR called Zack Sabre Jr. Will Ospreay multiple times.
I think it was just once, but still.
Okay.
But then, once is enough.
Yeah, that's all you need to get everybody riled up, and they were riled up. I was watching.
The commentary was much better. Apparently, he had little photographs, cheat sheets.
Yeah.
Again, I don't care how the steak gets made. Just that it tastes good.
Yeah. Whatever you got to do. All right. So night two.
Jushin Liger and Taguchi Japan defeated the Tempura Boys and Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu's really freaking bad at professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Finley won with the stretch muffler.
Nice.
So, whatever.
Finn is a good kid. I hope that he's able to do some more stuff and gets out of these undercard tag matches. Kenny
Omega beat Jay Lethal in the semifinals, and this match was pretty good because Kenny Omega is pretty great.
Yeah.
Lethal came out right away with the lethal injection and 3 suicide dives. The match settled down. A lot of V-triggers, a lot of backstabbers, or one backstabber, excuse me. Lethal broke out a beautiful-looking blue thunder bomb that I popped for.
Nice.
Snapdragon suplex. Omega breaking out the Doctor Bomb, more V-triggers. I mean, it was just Omega's just a wrestling genius. So
yeah, he's something else.
He got a 3.5-star match out of Fat Jay Lethal. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Tomohiro Ishii beat Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh my God, I can't wait to watch
this. The highlight of this match. So Sabre Jr. is going for the Ode to Jim Breaks, which he needs a new name for.
Yeah.
Jim Breaks may have beaten his wife to death. But,
yeah, if you don't follow the news.
So he does the arm bar and he hooks the leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ishii is and screaming in agony. Ishii is selling like a mofo. So Ishii reaches with his other arm to get the ropes. Raises the rope with his finger because he's a little man. He doesn't have the extension to get the full rope.
Yeah.
Sabre reaches his arms back and bends it behind his head. So Ishii's fucked. He's totally boned, just reamed, until he flips his whole body and uses his legs to get the ropes. Awesome spot. Would recommend. So great. They went to the finish. Of course, Ishii sold nothing because that's what he does. He just Sabre went for the penalty kick. Oh, the beginning! Oh my God, the beginning! So Sabre Jr. does the Ishii does the hit me and he does that uppercut.
Yeah.
And Ishii just like, you're gonna uppercut me, really? He does the forearm and Sabre Jr. goes flying.
Yeah.
This happened like 4 times. Sabre did not get the memo. He didn't get the message. You should not punch this man in the face.
Yeah.
Don't punch strong bad in the face, especially when you're 140-pound Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. is basically, no, I can't call him Coach Z because he's not that goofy.
What is he?
He can't be Coach Z because Coach Z is way too goofy. He can't be Coach Z.
He's
I need to think of a different.
But don't punch Ishii in the head.
Yeah.
Doesn't end well. Then we had Dragon Lee and Titan and Volador Jr. and Juice and Jay White, who beat the entirety of LIJ. Naito, Evil, Bushi, Sonata, Takahashi, and Daryl. Fun.
Oh, Daryl! Come on, Daryl!
Yeah, Daryl took the
you
loss.
You were supposed to be the star!
Yeah, Daryl took the loss. Actually, I think Bushi took the loss. Jay White won.
Can we just agree that it is fantastic?
White won 2 nights in a row, by the way, so you know what that tells you.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be a big deal. But can we just agree that in a community that is as divisive and widespread in its opinions as the wrestling world, that we have all come together to agree that Daryl is the single greatest thing that has ever come into wrestling ever?
Daryl's my pick for Wrestling Observer Newsletter Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He's the Rookie of the Year.
And non-wrestler of the year.
And non-wrestler of the year, yeah. And best gimmick. It was a tag match. I mean, whatever.
Did you see the link to the thing on eBay?
It's like 2 cheeks to buy your own Daryl.
Yeah. $2,000 to get a Daryl because he is worth it. He is worth it.
Oh, he's worth twice the price.
Yeah. Easily. Get your own Daryl. You won't regret it. Even if you don't have to eat for a month. You still won't regret it.
You'll have Daryl.
Next.
Where was I? Tama Tonga and Tonga Roa and Hangman Page beat War Machine and Big Mike.
With Haku
came out in a bulk with Haku, and Haku would have been one of the best wrestlers in this match.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they did not.
Match was fine. Page got the pin on Raw, and then he said he wanted a title shot. He didn't say who his partner was, though.
Wait, against?
It was fine. I mean, against War Machine.
Against War Machine?
Yeah, Page wanted a title shot. He didn't say with who.
They're probably going to do what they did last year when the Briscoes had the title and put it against Page and Yujiro. And God, I don't want Yujiro anywhere near that. I'd much rather be Page and Fale.
I'd rather be Page and Yujiro's girl.
Yeah. I mean,
Page
if they're going
to live with.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just get rid of fucking Yujiro. Leave him on the side of the road. Leave him at the truck stop when you're in between shows. Please, somebody. I don't know.
We had the spottiest spot fest that ever spotted. The Bucks versus RPG.
For the third time this year. This is about the Bucks and the Puggy Vice.
It was great. I mean, it was just nonstop balls to the wall. Matt Jackson power bombed Beretta onto the ramp. Don't take that bump, and Beretta sold his back the entire time. My 2 favorite parts of the match.
Beretta is the one that tried to do a tope con hilo and then landed on his back on the ramp. So
my 2 favorite parts of this match. 3 favorite parts of this match. So the Bucks have a move called More Bang for Your Buck. It is a fireman's carry into a rolling flip, which Matt Jackson does. And then Nick Jackson climbs the top rope and does a moonsault on the guy laying there. And then Matt Jackson climbs the top rope and does a 450 front flip. Okay?
Right.
It starts with a guy in a fireman's carry position. So like an FU.
Yeah,
okay? You with me so far?
And into the rolling senton, yeah.
Yes. They were doing it on Beretta, who had the bad back from the powerbomb. So Nick Jackson is standing at the top of the ropes, at the turnbuckle, ready to do the moonsault, right? And Matt Jackson has Beretta in the fireman's carry position, and he puts him down. And Nick goes, Matt, what are you doing? And Matt touches his head. And then he picks Beretta up in an Argentine backbreaker position, like the old Lex Luger torture rack, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
And he does the rolling senton flip front ways. So now Trent is on his stomach. And they do the moonsault and the splash to his back, which was hurting.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That I loved. Now before the match started, Dave Meltzer's father died at the age of 90, and our condolences to the Meltzer family.
Yes.
Apparently a pancreatic cancer, which sounds horrible.
Yeah,
and
worldwide fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. And they went on Twitter and said, we're going to hit the biggest Meltzer driver ever in honor of your dad, Dave. And it was a Meltzer driver from the top of the rope to the outside floor. Poor Nick Jackson.
Oh my God.
So Matt's got I think it was Rocky. I think Matt's got Rocky in the tombstone. And Nick Jackson on the run from inside the ring runs up the turnbuckle and hits a drop kick because he's not going to do the flip because God forbid you kill yourself. Hits a drop kick onto Matt Jackson, onto Romero for the Meltzer driver. The boys sit there in the box because they're the biggest marks for themselves. Look at each other and say, "Oh my God, how cool was that?" And then point the fingers to this guy, and the entire crowd chants Meltzer's name. And Dave said on his radio show that he and his whole family were in tears. Cool moment. Went right to the finish, which was double sharpshooters because Bret Hart's brother died.
Say what you will about the Bucks, and I've said
they're spotty motherfuckers, but they
have respect for the business.
They are good dudes.
They have respect for the business.
So in honor of Bret Hart's brother passing away, the finish was double tandem sharpshooters.
Nice.
So most importantly, RPG's breaking up.
Yes, but they did not fall prey to the 2017 curse of tag team betrayal.
No.
Which has plagued WWE horribly this year.
Yeah,
it was just a simple respect.
They just broke up, and Beretta's going to the heavyweights, and by all accounts, Rocky Romero is going to open the New Japan Long Los Angeles dojo.
Yeah,
is where probably is going to happen. He's going to semi-retire, and he's going to open the training school that New Japan is opening in LA.
Good for him. And I got to say, like that aspect of a tag team breakup, I think that that should be done more often. Like I get the value of the storytelling trope of one partner betraying the other, but this is the first time, at least to my memory, this is the first time that we've seen a tag team breakup and with mutual respect between partners since the Lucha Dragons broke up. And
I believe that's correct.
When the first brand split happened last year.
I believe that is correct.
That was the last time that we saw a major tag team breakup without a betrayal. And I am all for that because there's a ton of storytelling tropes that you can use with that too.
Agreed.
And you don't need to have the first program of a broken up tag team be against each other. I mean, because that's something that has been done. I mean, for all the value of that storytelling device, it's been done thousands of times. So
it was a nice change of pace. Before that happened, Ricochet came out and is challenging for the belts with the other half of Apollo 5-5, whose name I'm forgetting, Taguchi.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Ricochet and Taguchi are challenging for the belts against the Bucks. That's
fine. I mean, Taguchi has already had his one requisite great match of the year when he faced Hiromu at the anniversary event.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's been putting in a solid effort this year, and I think that he can pull out another great match in a tag match. So I would be fine with that.
Oh, and Ricochet is a very bad promo, but we knew that.
Yeah, I mean, Ricochet is Ricochet. I mean, he has his strengths and he has his weaknesses.
Then we had the hammiest ham of all time.
Oh boy.
Cody Rhodes, Yujiro Takahashi, Bad Luck Fale, and the villain Marty Scurll beat Okada, Young Will Ospreay, Mark, and Jay Briscoe. And this was the ultimate in PWG ham. Ham everywhere.
I mean,
a lot of stalling early. The Bullet Club would tag out so nobody locked up. The crowd chanted, "Well, we want Fale." So Fale tagged in and then tagged immediately out. That happened all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They stalled for 5 minutes in a 15-minute match. Once it got going, it got better. What?
I saw they were all doing like Big E-esque dancing spots. There's a GIF going around on Twitter where they were all doing it respectively.
Once it got going, it was fine.
When Fale went to do it, instead he just went straight down for a pinfall attempt against whoever was on the mat. I think it was Okada. I don't remember. But
yeah, I mean, once it got going, it was fine.
It looked
Cody Rhodes beat Will Ospreay. It was a New Japan match. I mean, a tag match. Look, if you haven't figured it out by now, New Japan tag matches are pretty forgettable, unless you really like the guys. Unless you really like the guys in the matches.
Some of them have proven themselves to actually be really enjoyable. Like I've been saying all year, and I will continue to say, I will never skip a tag match between LIJ and Taguchi Japan because they're always great.
Sure.
Everything about those matches is always great.
I enjoy watching the dads. Nakanishi and, all those guys.
Yeah, and Tenkozy and all those guys,
Yeah, I enjoy the New Japan dads.
Yeah. And maybe we'll, all prognosis says that Honma will hopefully be back in time for World Tag League, so we might get GBH back in action.
Oh, that'd be so great. And I hope.
Yeah.
Then we had a match that was not very good. Hiroshi Tanahashi did his best, but Billy Gunn's not very good at professional wrestling.
Well, from by all accounts that I heard, Billy Gunn was the superior worker in this match.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. Like, we know Tanahashi's hurting. Billy Gunn was blown up right away, first of all. So I will say, though, he does hit a better Colossus than Jinder Mahal does, though.
Absolutely, yeah.
He reversed a sling blade into it. It was pretty nice.
And apparently one of the highlights of the match was Tanahashi mooning the crowd because he was not doubled up.
No, he was not double. He was bare ass, and that's not a sight that anyone needs to see.
Yeah.
So it was fine, but 2-star match, 2.5, whatever, it was fine. Like whatever.
Yeah. Tanahashi, get yourself the fucking surgery.
Yeah, you
pull
really
out of the G1, get your fucking surgery. My God in heaven.
Yeah, you should not have. The company does not need you anymore, man.
Yeah.
You are a luxury at this point.
Just go become one of the dads. Join the dad.
Then we had the best match of the weekend.
Yeah.
Then we had one of the best matches I've seen all year. I went the full 5 on this match. Kenny Omega beat Tomohiro Ishii in 31 minutes to become the first IWGP champion. First of all,
this is the 3rd time they've met this year. First IWGP US champion.
Props to Ishii for selling the arm the entire match because Zack Sabre worked it over an hour and a half prior. Yes! So great! More people should do that.
Yep.
You know what it's
guy's
like?
Fucking masterwork.
Every time he tried to use his right arm, he sold because it was hurting from Zack Sabre Jr. 2 hours earlier. This was great.
A GIF. I saw a GIF of him like blocking strikes with his left arm when Kenny was going for strikes and kept blocking it with his left arm. And then he just went for a lariat because he was just so enraged. He just went for a lariat with his right and then immediately like screamed in pain.
Yes. So, that happened like twice or 3 times. German suplexes on the floor. Hard chops, V-triggers, chops, lariats, forearms. This guy's just beating the crap out of each other. German suplex through a table.
God.
From the ring apron.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Where
Ishii was using his mouth so he doesn't get suplexed.
He fucking took it right on his neck.
I cannot do this match justice.
Yeah, just go watch it. I'm so excited to watch that. Yeah.
Those suplexes and throws and punches and kicks and selling, and Ishii with the one-winged angel, and Omega with the brain buster, and it was just incredible match.
That is a trope of New Japan where they have one guy do the other guy's finisher, but I mean,
my favorite is they have guys do their stablemates finishers.
Sometimes it's just magical, and I'm sure that was the case.
Last year in the G1, Omega won with a Bloody Sunday in honor of Prince Devitt, a Styles Clash in honor of AJ Styles, and the one-winged angel. You remember that? In the G1 final against Koto?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't do this match justice, man. Just watch it. It was great. I went the full 5. Yeah. It was so good. The crowd was on fire. It will be on Access tomorrow night. If you have DVR, you can DVR and watch it all the time, or you can watch it on the World.
Yep. Yeah, New Japan World if you don't have it. Yeah. I can't say it enough.
$999 yen a month.
Yep. Oh, man. I mean,
the best part, I forgot about this. Omega throws 2 straight V-triggers, tries for the 3rd. Ishii catches him and then starts his comeback. Ishii is just awesome. And if you didn't know, your ass better call somebody, first of all. So, he is just a master at this wrestling business.
Yeah. He's been doing this, like I said, he's 40 years old. He's been doing this for years now. But he does it so well. And the guy has really never held anything significant. He's been a tag team champion with Toru Yano. He's held the never open weight belts, and he's been the ROH TV title holder. And that was it. That's really it. He's consistently always been one of the most underrated workers worldwide.
He's been great for 15 years.
Yeah, he is phenomenal. It's amazing. Love that man. All right,
so that's it.
So,
great show. I want to close with anything else before I close with talking about Impact.
No, I mean, well, we got to do our requisite podcast plug, but yeah, go,
yes.
do your thing on the Impact, please.
Okay,
go right ahead. Tell
you are aware that how Impact is now GFW, right?
Yeah, Global Force Wrestling is now the new rebranding of Impact.
This GFW thing is insane to me, dude. The company is rebranding for the 2nd time in like 6 months, and it's the same people doing both rebranding. They're rebranding. And what are they changing the name to? Global Force Wrestling. It's probably not super damaging because no one's heard of Global Force Wrestling, but for those who have, it's a complete joke.
Yeah.
The promotion has taped a bunch of television and tried forever to get people to air it, and they couldn't get it. They ran a bunch of shows in baseball stadiums that nobody went to. And remember Global Force Gold? A Ponzi scheme? Even if you're just a longtime TNA fan, all you know them for is that weird-ass invasion angle from like 3 years ago. Imagine this. I thought of this on the way home. Imagine if the NWO storyline in WCW lasted 2 months. They all lost. They all went away. And then 2 years later, Hulk Hogan was running WCW, and everyone just said, oh, WCW is now called NWO. That's what this is.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
But that's not the worst. But wait, there's more.
Oh, God.
The fact that Jeff Jarrett got anything for Global Force Wrestling, let alone ownership points and Impact, is amazing. What did Anthem ever get? They got a worthless name, a bunch of years-old TV shows full of talent that is now signed elsewhere in front of empty baseball stadiums. You know what this whole saga tells me, Brother Chris? They tell me that Anthem are not genius businessmen.
Yeah.
You know who Anthem is? They're Dixie Carter 2.0.
Yep.
This is the 2nd time that Jeff Jarrett started his own wrestling promotion that went to shit. And then he found some money mark worth millions of dollars to buy it and let him keep running it for free.
Yep.
Jeff Jarrett, the most brilliant man in the history of professional wrestling.
Simultaneously, one of the biggest scumbags. Simultaneously, one of the biggest scumbags.
Started with the company he couldn't make a success, merging with the other company he couldn't get off the ground, with him in complete control and getting paid for his troubles. The man is brilliant. All hail Jeff Jarrett. That's my piece.
No, I will not. I will not hail Jeff Jarrett. Fuck that guy. All right.
That's my piece. Get the plugs. We get out of here.
Yeah. So as we've said in the past few weeks, there's a plethora of excellent podcasting content on CageSightseats.com, your one-stop shop for wrestling news and banter. And we encourage you to check everybody out. We have on Wednesday night shooting with our friends Tanya Rogers and Andrew M. Swift, who had a hilariously funny episode last night. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Definitely check them out. On Thursdays, we have Rudo Radio in the mornings with Mark Normandin and Nick Bond. And then in the evenings, the publication of Not Your Demographic with the stunning Stella Cheeks and the enigmatic Aaron Klein. On Fridays, it's normally a triple shot. We are normally on Fridays, too, in the evenings. This week, had to make our slight scheduling adjustment, but we'll be back to Friday next week. Friday mornings, though, we start off the day with Shooting Debris with Taker's Minion, Mr. Dr. Senju, and Prince Moxley Lopez. And then in the afternoons, I believe that they are not broadcasting tomorrow afternoons, according to what Fizzy told me. But normally we have Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling with 14 Fitzpatrick and Sal Cusmano. Like I said, I think they might be taking tomorrow off, but they should be back next week. Just keep an eye out on the site for that. And then, like I said, in the evenings, you have us, Two Guys, One Sport, and we will be back to Fridays next week. We also have Cage Side Speaks, which will undoubtedly have a new episode coming up soon, following the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view.
Every now and again, you're on Cage Side Speaks, no?
Every so often. I used to be on it a lot more frequently, but you know, it's I like to let some of the other guys who are not regular podcasters have their time on the air. Although we did have our gem of Don't Cane Kids from a recent edition of Cage Side Speaks, and we stand by that message. Hashtag Don't Cane Kids. Shout out to my man Notorious Eddie Mack. And Bacon Strips as well. The artist formerly known as Bacon Strips as well for that one. But yeah, always check out Cage Side Speaks following all major WWE events, and Cage Side Live with Sean Reuter and Our Lady Justice following all NXT takeovers. And always come by CageSideSeats.com, your one-stop shop for wrestling news and banter, and join up with the community. We are a fun and friendly group of wrestling fans. We try to be welcoming to everybody and have a diverse set of opinions on the site, and always enjoy new members coming to share in our discussions and banter. So please feel free to stop on by if you are not already a member.
We like them. They're good people. They put up with us.
Yeah. And Adam Rice, how long before Ishii is IWGP Heavyweight Champ? He might never get it. He might get a gold watch run with the IWGP Intercontinental title, but I don't think that they're taking the heavyweight belt off of Okada or any of the other main event players for a long time. But you know, I see title run is a reasonable thing to expect in Ishii's future, as before he heads off to retirement and figures out why the area that is supposed to be his neck always hurts, because it will. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. Next week, we've got the recap of Engorged Testicles Aflame, as well as
my preview of AEW.
Preview of AEW, and hopefully a full review of the complete field for the Mae Young Classic, which is taping next week, so they better have the full field announced by then. And we'll be able to talk it over. We'll keep it spoiler-free for you all, so definitely feel free to tune in, even if you are avoiding the spoilers for the Mae Young Classic, and we can have a little bit of discussion about that as well. And that's it. That's our show for this week. Episode 18
Thanks for listening,
is
everybody.
in the books. Thank you guys for listening. Don't work yourselves into a shoot.
Enjoy the rest of your evening and a good weekend. And as always, enjoy the graps and hang out with us on CageSideSeats.com, your one-stop shop for wrestling news and banter.
Have a good week, you guys. Have a good week.
Good night, guys.